What is going on, guys? DualX Ben here, back with another video, and today we are back with the beginner guide series to all the characters of Marvel Rivals. Today we are going to be doing Captain America, so let's get to it. Alright guys, to start off, going into some of the controls for Cap. So his first and most normal strike you're going to be doing is his Sentinel Strike, or Sentinel Strike. So it's just going to be left click on PC, and then it's going to be R2 and RT on Xbox and PlayStation. So obviously with this, we can, you have to get up close for the first couple times. The first couple hits, you got to get close, get this popped up. But then once you get farther away, as you guys can see in the kind of the middle of the screen, when we get enough hits, we can throw our shield. So he's kind of like, I guess you could say Wolverine in a way where you have to be up close. But this, obviously, you get a little bit more of a mid-range attack. Once you've hit 2 attacks, get that full, boom, boom, boom. You get 4 shield throws, so that's pretty important. Can help with a little more spacing, especially if you are getting into a little bit of a sticky situation and your health is getting low. Leading dash, it's going to be left shift, and I believe it's RB and R1 on PlayStation, Xbox. This is just obviously, you get a sprint, and pretty simple. Just, you're faster, you run faster. But the reason I'm talking about this right now, guys, and why this is important is because you can do your fearless leap, which is going to be space, or it's going to be A or X on Xbox and PlayStation, and then this puts you in the air. And why that is important is because you get your super soldier slam, which is going to be right click on, no, excuse me, it's going to be left click, again, same thing as your sentinel strike. It's going to be left click, and it's going to be R2 and RT while you're in there, but you have to be in the air while you do this, so it'll look like this. Boom. Lifts them up in the air. Again, pretty nice. Gets you up in the air. Just slam down. Do it again. Gets you up in the air, slam down. Boom. Again, can be really helpful for, again, isolating more squishy targets, especially healers. This could be really helpful for that. And honestly, just also helpful getting over the front line. If there's maybe some more frontline DPS, like maybe a Wolverine, or maybe if usually Punisher should be in the back, but if a Punisher is up with his tanks, and then your tanks, this can be really helpful. Honestly, just jumping over the damn tanks and getting back to that back line. So that'll be really helpful for that. So then, guys, after that, we have our Vibranium Energy Saw, which is going to be E on PC, and it's going to be LB and L1 on Xbox and PlayStation. This is important. Obviously, as you can see there, you actually can hit multiple enemies. So it hits the enemies in the array, or the, I should say, area that you are throwing the shield like this, and then it comes right back to you. Again, another great move to do at long range, trying to overall get as much damage as you can before you head in. So next, guys, we have Liberty Rush, which is going to be F on PC, and it's going to be X and square on PlayStation, Xbox. Pretty simple, just boom, dash into combat. Like I said, this will be really good in combos. Let's say if you, let me wait till my shield gets healed up here. So if I threw my shield and then went boom, could get close to the enemies, get up close, take them out. This is just really good for not only going into combat quicker, but it's actually really good of getting out of combat. As Captain America, I will teach you guys in the tips later on kind of some easy tips for playing Cap, but you are going to need to get in and out of combat very quickly with this character. That is the main important piece when playing Cap. And then we have Living Legend, which is going to be right-click on PC. It's going to be LT and L2 on PlayStation and Xbox. This, obviously, you're just holding up your shield. As you can see, you have about 350 HP. So you don't have a ton of HP compared to like a Magneto or a Doctor Strange. Obviously, a Doctor Strange, his whole pretty much character is relied around his shield. But this is a really nice tool to use if you are kind of trapped in a corner and are just trying to maneuver your way to get out of a sticky situation. If you got multiple enemies kind of teaming up on you, but it's overall a good shield, blocks all projectiles. It's just a little bit smaller, and it should recharge a little bit faster than some of the other shield ops in, or shield characters in the game. And then we have Cap's ultimate, which is going to be Freedom Charge. And this is obviously going to be Q on PC, and it's going to be clicking both joysticks down for Xbox and PlayStation. This is a very, 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 I would say, important ability for Cap, especially when he's low on health. It's not the crazy salt in the game, but what you do is, once you activate this ability, you're gonna grant both bonus health if you are in Captain America's path for yourself and for your allies. So it's gonna look like this. It's gonna last for 10 seconds. Boom. You're gonna have this path overall like this. Pretty much gives you 925 HP. Gives you a lot of HP, and then you kind of get a little bit more boost of flipping people up in the air. Just gives you some bonus HP. Really, if you're just in a sticky situation, I think this is a good idea to use this ult. Not a crazy ult, does some decent things, but definitely helps you if you're needing to escape from a situation. Now, guys, let's get into tip number 1 with this hero. Please understand, for you guys, for a beginner guide, I'm going to put this hopefully up on the screen for you guys. This is a dive tank. This is 100% a dive tank. You should not be sitting on objective like a Magneto or like a Strange, trying to keep the space and trying to stay on point. This is not what this tank is used for. He is a pure dive tank. You should not really, I do not recommend playing a Cap unless you are having, let's say, Magneto's a very versatile tank. But if you do not have, if you have a Magneto that's sitting on point, or if you have a Doctor Strange, um, really any of those types of tanks that their goal is to stay on point, keep pushing the objective. If you do not have one of those on your team, you probably shouldn't be running Cap. His whole goal is to dive. You need to go at their back line. It is very important as Cap. You need to go after their back line. That is your whole goal with this character. You need to, like I said, use the Fearless Leap, try to jump over their front line, get to that back line, take out the healers, and get out. That is your goal as Cap. And honestly, it's to be pesky and annoying. Caps can be very pesky for other teams. It's really hard to kill Caps. Now, for my second tip is, what you need to be able to do, guys, with Cap is you have to get in and out very quickly. Like I said, this is a dive tank. You are not have a super strong shield. You do not have extra health. Maybe like a Thing or a Hulk. You do not have that. You are very much like a Venom. You need to be able to get in and get out quickly. So again, let's say I throw my shield. Let's say I throw my shield. Bang. Chop down. Boom. 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 I'm out. That's what you need to be doing with Cap. You go in, you try to make a pick here and there with their backline healers, but once you are starting to get attacked, you get out. You try to do as much damage as you can, but you need to stay alive. You have to be pesky, and then obviously you can use your shield. You need to use your shield at times. That's also very important as well. Now, my final tip for this character, guys, is really good caps can be very helpful, but I do believe this is situational. This is a situational hero to me. I believe you should really only be playing this guy if your team comp says so. If you are running a very heavy dive comp, I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing to use this hero, but I definitely believe you should be only using this hero if you have another tank that will be playing objective. If there is another tank playing objective, this can be really, Cap can be very, very helpful diving into other heroes, going into the back line, and taking them out. But this is a situational hero to me, guys. So if you want to play Cap a good amount of the time, I would suggest somebody playing a Doctor Strange or Magneto in your chat. If you want to do that, I believe you should, because he will be more helpful and more effective if you are not the tank that has to stay on objective, because Cap's goal is to go after the back line. So that'll be it for this one, guys. Thank you all so much for watching. Please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Turn on post notifications so you get notified every single time I upload, and I will see you all in the next one. Peace.